What's up, Varsity Podcast fans? It's Future Derek here. I just want to let you guys know, for some reason, the recording software was a little weird today when I was recording. Unfortunately, I can't do nothing about it. I just recorded a whole episode, so I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you're here watching the actual video, my lips kind of don't add up with what I'm actually saying, so I just want to give you guys a heads up. I just noticed this while I'm editing the video. But thank you guys for tuning in to the episode. We really appreciate all the support. Give us a like, comment, share, subscribe, do what you guys always do. And feel free to comment down in the comments about anything we talk about. We love engaging with you guys. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode. Welcome to the Varsity Podcast, one of the best podcasts out there talking all things sports. This episode is going to be a chirping hockey episode. I am very excited to get into this. We're going to be hitting today talking about the Stanley Cup champions, draft currently going on as I speak, second, third, fourth round, all that going on right now. Multiple trades happening. We're going to get into it. It's going to be a very good episode. But first off, I want to start by, sadly, as you can see, I'm clearly a Tampa Bay fan, congratulating the Florida Panthers on winning the Stanley Cup. Congrats to them. Applause all around. But, I mean, the final was definitely interesting. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for a better final. At least, Florida dominating the first three games, going up 3-0, and then Edmonton clawing their way back from being down 3-0 to force a Game 7, and then Florida finally capitalizing and winning Game 7 and winning the Stanley Cup. First Stanley Cup in franchise history. Congrats to them again. But yeah, it is going to be very interesting. One thing I guess we could hit on, Connor McDavid getting the playoff MVP award for the playoffs, and then a lot of people kind of feeling a way about that. Personally, I mean, I'm cool with it. I think McDavid definitely was a stud during this playoff series, or well, not necessarily series. I could say he definitely didn't show up in some games during the series. That's definitely non-debatable. But at least during the whole playoffs, I think he performed very well. Clearly, in the Stanley Cup final, there were sometimes he did not show up, resulting in them not winning the cup. But nonetheless, I mean, he performed, that's for sure. And I know some people were kind of like, kind of bent on him not coming out to receive the award. I don't know if it was maybe because, I mean, obviously, you just lost the Stanley Cup final, Game 7. Like, at that point, it's going to be maybe seen as a participation trophy. I mean, personally, I would feel hurt as well, just giving it my all and not winning it. And then they'd be like, yeah, but here's this award. It's like, it kind of feels like a consultation. So it kind of feels like a consultation prize. I don't know. Like, I can kind of see it, but then I also feel like maybe he was just giving respect to the Panthers winning it on home ice, letting them have their moment and not have it like overshadow their moment right now. But yeah, I know a lot of people felt a certain way about that. Let me know down in the comments how you feel about him winning the award and then also really not coming out to accept it either. But yeah, with that being said, I want to get into some off-season talk. Like I said, as of today, June 29th, the draft has been continuously ongoing. I watched a little bit of the first round yesterday, caught a few things. I know my Tampa Bay Lightning did not have any first-round picks. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us later. But I will be getting into that. But speaking of the Lightning, big things going on today and yesterday I heard. So it looked like Stamkos was going to be testing free agency officially July 1st, which will be Monday, 2 days from now as I'm recording. He's currently not re-signing with Tampa Bay. We offered him an offer. I believe it was somewhere around like $3 million, and he was looking to get like $4 to $5 million. I mean, I think it was a low ball, yes, especially for someone like Stammer who wants to stay in Tampa Bay and wants to retire as a Bolt. I low-key think it could have been a low ball, but again, I don't know what our GM might have something in his hand, might have something up his sleeve planned, but it kind of hurts because I would personally like to see Stammer stay with us and retire as a Bolt. I mean, he's made it his intention that he wants to, but now the speculation is, okay, if he is leaving, where is he going to sign and who's going to try to pick him up? Because I still think even though he's near the end of his career, he still has a few, maybe one or two good more seasons in him, maybe three, but we'll see. I think the most I've seen online that people want is either Detroit, team up with Kane up in Detroit, Toronto. I would hate that because you guys know I'm not big on the Leafs, but whatever. I understand that as well because he's like from Toronto, so he probably wouldn't mind playing there. But yeah, I mean, let me know where you guys think Stamkos is gonna go in the comments and how you feel about that. And moving on, that might kind of correlate with this as well. Tampa Bay making some trades. We were trading Mikhail Sergachev to, where was it? It was to the Utah Hockey Club. That's literally what they're called right now, or the former Arizona Coyotes. Sergachev is going to Utah, and in return, I'm probably going to butcher these names. Sorry. Connor Geeky, I think is how you say it. And then this is like his nickname, not like his actual name, but it's easier to say it. JJ Moser, maybe. And then we also got the 2025 second round pick via Toronto, and then the 199th overall pick in this year's draft, then we drafted a kid. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's from the defenseman from the QMJHL. I'll put all this up on screen. How I feel about that is going to be, I'm excited to see these young cats we're bringing in because I've been watching Tampa Bay since 2015. And with Mikhail Sergachev, or as I'll refer to him as Sergey, he was, I don't know. I feel like at times he could be a good defenseman, and then at times he wasn't. Like, I don't know. His time with Tampa was good. Obviously, he won 2 cups with us. He was part of those 2 teams that won the cup. Say what you will about those, whatever. It's past. I think at times he was inconsistent as a defenseman. Like, I think at times he had a good game, and then he wouldn't have a good game. And then, obviously, unfortunately, the injury, and then came back and then was injured again. Unfortunately, no matter what kind of player, whether you hate him or like him, you never wish an injury on a player. That was also very unfortunate for his career. Glad he's back and he's healthy right now. I hope he's healthy the rest of his career. And I don't know. I think at times, and I could argue this as well, that some people said online that I've seen and talked about online, is that he was low-key kind of underpaid, or not underpaid, overpaid for what we actually got from him production-wise. I can agree because there would be times where I'd watch games and I'd be like, what is this dude doing? Like, I don't know. I just feel like, again, he was inconsistent at times. Not a bad defender, but definitely just not great either. And then I also feel like that might have been because we also just got Ryan McDonough back from Nashville as well. I am very excited to see McDonough back in a Tampa Bay Lightning uniform. Hopefully, maybe pairing on the first line with Victor Hedman, or see what else happens. That was one trade that happened today, and then again, gonna miss Sergey no matter what. He was still a part of those cup-winning teams and played a role in helping us win the cup. But yeah, I wish you the best, Sergey, and I hope you do good in Utah. And for his sake as well, I hope he can stay injury-free the rest of his career because I know he's had a rough past lately with those injuries. But yeah, and then up here I'll put it as well, just his Instagram post wishing Tampa Bay Lightning the best. Yada yada. If you feel free to pause the video and read that. Then the next trade going down today, Tampa Bay again making a trade. LA Kings working with us for a trade. We traded them Tanner Jeannot for the 2024 pick at number 118 and 2025 second round pick. And I realized I just made a mistake in that pick. So actually, okay. So that 199th pick, I did not check who we got yet as of the time I'm recording this video, but the pick that we got from the Kings is where we got that defenseman. I'll put a picture and his name up in editing from the QMJHL. Apologies for that to confuse you guys, but yeah, so back to that. The Kings giving us the 2024 pick, number 118 overall, 2025 second-round pick, and we gave them Tanner Jeannot. I also am excited to see what we do with these picks and these young cats that we're bringing in. I don't want to say it's maybe a full rebuild, but, sort of starting to plan for the future. But Tanner, he was okay in Tampa. I mean, he had good games here and there, but he definitely didn't stand out. And at times, I think he just couldn't get comfortable with being at our level. So, I mean, I don't got too much to say on that, but wishing you the best, Tanner, out in LA. Hopefully you do good things out there. But yeah, for that segment, that's going to wrap that up. That was just as far as I've seen from Tampa Bay's draft and trading today. My main point with that is some people are thinking like, okay, maybe us unloading these guys, maybe this is our way of trying to get Stammer to re-sign with us. That way we can offer him $4 to $5 million like he wants, just so he could stay with us and retire as a Bolt. I could agree there, but then I'm also thinking maybe again we're trying to like just free up some cap space for one, maybe re-signing guys like Hedman and stuff like that coming up, and just also getting some young talent that we can try to develop to build for the future. But if not, if we can still get Stammer back for minimum, like he was saying, he was seeking $4 million, $5 million. If we can get him back for that, and then have him put up another good season and then retire as a Bolt, I wouldn't be mad about it. But that is that. I'm gonna get off of that segment. Now I'm gonna get into awards, because they have officially given out the awards for the NHL players, and I was right on 2 out of 3 that I talked about. I think I talked about 3 of them on my past episode. I feel like I might have did 4, but I'm gonna hit the main 3. Number 1 being Connor Bedard winning Rookie of the Year. Shocker, I know. Nah, but yeah, I think that one was kind of predictable. Connor had a very good year, and even the other rookies that were up there in the running for him had solid years, but Connor definitely stood out. That doesn't really surprise a lot of people with him winning that award. Good for him. He had a fun rookie year. It was fun. I actually got to watch him in person when me and Dawson went up to Detroit to watch the Blackhawks play the Red Wings. That was really fun getting to see Connor in person. And that was actually the game where he went viral there for a minute, where Chicago wasn't scoring on any of their power plays, and as he was coming back to the bench, took his stick and just swung it and smashed it across the bench. That was actually where that viral moment came from. I was at that game. I didn't see him do it on the ice, but I looked at the replays later and I was like, yeah, they for sure were not scoring on all the power plays they had. They had, like, I want to say like 4 or 5 that game. But yeah, Connor Bedard winning Rookie of the Year. Yeah, Connor Bedard winning Rookie of the Year. What do I think in the future for his future plans? I think he's gonna come back with a solid sophomore season. Especially, it looks like the Chicago is getting some solid draft picks, so I'm excited to kind of see what he's gonna do next. Especially with him potentially being one of the next young stars of this up and coming generation. Very excited to see where he goes next in his career. And then the next award that I believe I picked right, yeah. Connor Hellebuck winning the Vezina. Not surprising there. He had a solid season. It was honestly tough, though, between the goalies that were up for it, because they were all similar stats and similar, what was it? Yeah, I mean, similar stats. Very tight race there. Just along with the next award that I'm going to get to. But, yeah, to hit on this one, I think the way I can sum this one up, and I don't want to do it this way, but I mean, it's just facts, is that regular season, Winnipeg Jets, good season, solid season. Then they got to the playoffs, and then it was like, what happened? Like, they did not show up in the playoffs at all. I mean, again, but I can agree, as I say with this, as I'm going to hit on the next award. This is a regular season award. Connor Hellebuck definitely did have a good regular season. Good for him. But again, sad as it is, the Winnipeg Jets did not show up in the playoffs whatsoever. So that was disappointing for them, I assume, and any Winnipeg fans. Hate me if you will, but I'll just say it's facts. I won't lie, Tampa Bay didn't do too much in the playoffs either, but, I'm just out here stating the facts, trying not to be biased. But, yeah, that was I mean, I can agree. I'm cool with that award. I'm not mad about this one. But now getting on to my next one, the MVP, the Hart Memorial, Nathan McKinnon. Why? I first seen this and I kind of felt away. And I'm not even gonna try to be biased here, but I at least, in my opinion, would have put McKinnon third overall. And honestly, I mean, honestly, I think this award was more between Kucherov and McDavid. I mean, just go back and look at the stats. Crazy seasons. Crazy seasons. No matter what you did in playoffs, like take away the playoffs, just the regular season. And then I feel like this is what's going to come up with this argument. And I don't like the way it's being portrayed, but everyone's going to say that Kucherov didn't get it simply because of his All-Star game performance and his attitude towards the All-Star game. My only argument there, though, is like I just said with this last award, it is a regular season award. So bear in mind then, I don't think you should be able to include Kucherov's All-Star game performance and how he acted at the All-Star game. You know, that could be a whole separate debate for another time, but again, regular season award. Only games that matter are the regular season games. And again with McDavid, like the Oilers were terrible to start the year. And then they got hot, and then McDavid got hot. Like McKinnon is good. Like, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he should have got it. I feel like it should have been McDavid or Kucherov. And I mean, you can argue this, and I'm not trying to be biased, but let's be real here. If Kucherov wasn't playing the way he was playing, would Tampa Bay have even made the playoffs? Let's be so real here. Because I was watching a few of them games. It was rough. Like, the only reason we were doing that and getting where we got to was because of Kucherov. And even the same for the Oilers. McDavid was going off, helping carry that team. Like McKinnon, he helped, but I just don't think he helped as much as McDavid and Kucherov. I don't know. I think for one, I think Kucherov is definitely going to go into the All-Star game debate where they're like, that's probably why. And as sad as it is, again, regular season award, All-Star game does not matter. Playoff performance does not matter. Regular season, only those 82 games. But let me know your comments down below, what you think of that. Let's debate about it a little bit. But yeah, gonna get into the next segment being just the off-season plans, I guess. Lots of trades going down right now. Way too many to put in this video. I have seen so much, and I just tried to hit on the ones that I know a bit more about. Obviously, Tampa Bay, some of the other popular stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, and then the only other thing I can hit on, this is like super old, but Toledo Walleye, as you guys know, I'm an avid walleye fan. I live close to them, so I go all the time. Lost in the Western Conference Finals to the Kansas City Mavericks, who then went on to play the Florida Everblades, who then won the ECHL Kelly Cup, which is a three-peat, 3 straight cups. The only team to ever do that in the ECHL. Call it what you will, development league or whatever. That is still very impressive to still be able to win 3 in a row. And then the shocking news from that is that later on, the Florida Panthers are ending their affiliation with the Florida Everblades, which you would think like, what? Like, they just won 3 cups in a row. What are we doing? Which it's honestly a shock to me because I've also heard a lot of people like the Florida Everblades, like player-wise, because of how professionally the organization is run. But yeah, I mean that's honestly surprising, but I haven't seen much else about it, so it must be something internal about as to why. But yeah, and I think roughly that's about all I got for you guys today. I'm sorry I haven't been very active. I know I posted an episode. I have just been very busy with football. If you guys didn't know, I coach football. I've been very busy with that work and just, I mean, trying to get some news for you guys. But if you guys don't know, I have it linked in our YouTube channel. We have TikTok as well. We post on there a lot more often of just general kind of news, memes, jokes, cool edits, variety of many things. We are almost at 50 followers. If you guys could help us get to 50 followers, we would really appreciate it. Also, my next news, I am going to be dropping merch soon for the Varsity Podcast. I will start teasing some of it. I have like 2 designs right now that I really like. I'll kind of show you guys some of it. But yeah, I will let you guys know when I'm going to fully release it. But that's going to do it for our episode of Varsity Podcast, Chirping Hockey. If you guys like the episode, please feel free to subscribe, like, and share. Go ahead and comment anything down below. I'd love to engage with you guys in the comments, whether we're going to debate about Kucherov not winning the Hart Memorial, or what you guys think of draft choices this week, or trades, or, just in general, whatever. We love to engage with you guys in the comments on our TikTok, our YouTube videos, all of it. I mean, we love it. So yeah, subscribe, like, share. In the description, go check out the TikTok. We post on there a little more than we do on YouTube. But yeah, with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Varsity Podcast, the best podcast for all your sports news. But thank you, guys.